With us on set is Andrew Markus, and he is the founder of 4score and 7 Music. Wonderfully gifted, talented man, and a good friend of mine. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm happy to see you. Our first project ever was about 20 years ago.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, it was for Parker Tours.
Right.
I don't even know if Parker Tours is still in business, are they?
I don't know.
We should call them, hello,
we should Google
Parker.
it. Google Parker Tours.
They could still be using your same music, your same score, who knows?
They very well might as well.
Now, what got you interested in going into the music industry, Andrew?
I always loved music as far back as I can remember. I always loved to play music, and I was writing music before I could even play an instrument. And then obviously I had to learn how to play an instrument, so I learned how to play the piano and the guitar and saxophone, clarinet, but mostly the piano. And I studied composition, orchestration in school, and at some point I fell in love with writing music for film and TV and for theater as well, and just kept moving in that direction.
And you've gotten a lot of accolades. I mean, your awards keep bum, 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 bum. Each award you get, are they unique and special to you, or is it always like just the first one that matters the most?
No, they're all special because I try to approach every project like as if it's the most important thing I've ever done. It's the biggest shot I've ever gotten, and I love doing them all.
Now, recently when we were working together on one of the new theme pieces for Live It Up, you asked me for adjectives.
Yes. One of the challenges of writing music for somebody else is music is a very personal thing, and words mean different things to different people. So I asked you for, I think, 7 adjectives, because the more adjectives you use, it narrows things down, and we can get to what your music should sound like.
Now, I don't remember what my adjectives were, but I remember one of them, I think, was like effervescent or zesty or something like that.
Both of those were on the list.
And so when you're working with a client, do you always do that little game? Is that one of your keys to success?
It's a newer key to success.
Okay.
Because sometimes there could be a miscommunication where someone says, I want something contemporary sounding, or somebody wants something dark or fluid, and you don't quite know what they mean.
Fluid maybe, but the other two, no.
Yeah, adjectives have a lot of space. So if you can give more adjectives, it narrows the playing field down and gives me a better idea of what you want.
And you've worked for a lot of networks. Can you rattle off a few, or a few of your projects? Because they're pretty impressive.
Sure. I've worked with NBC, the Weather Channel, Discovery, MTV, VH1. I work a lot with the Net TV, which is a local station out of Brooklyn. TLC, a bunch of them.
And how do you feel when you're at home and you're watching something and it's got your music in it? Are you always excited to watch that?
Always. It never gets old. If something's on TV and I hear my music in the background, it's great. It's a great feeling. And
any challenges over the years? Was there any one project that you were just like ripping your hair out and said, I don't know how I'm ever going to get this score done, but you were able to achieve that score?
I did a show for the Discovery Channel a few years ago called Scandals of the Ancient World, and it was an hour-long show, and I had 5 days to write 46 minutes of music, and my Mac was breaking down in the middle of it. The show was great. It still runs sometimes on some of the satellite networks that Discovery has. It was one of the shows I'm most proud of. At one point I worked 30 hours straight to finish it up.
Wow.
So dedication's important, and the clients loved it. The network aired it. Actually, didn't do so well on Discovery, but it played hundreds of times on other networks and overseas. And
it's interesting sometimes when a project needs to find its niche. You know, it's got to find its audience.
Right.
You know, it doesn't mean that the project's not necessarily good. It just needs to kind of hone in on where it's supposed to find eyeballs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what's interesting is that right at the time that project came out, reenactments were going out of style, and now they're very much back in style.
It's like Westerns. I'm waiting for the Westerns to come back.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be great at scoring a Western, right?
I would love to. I'd love to.
Dun, 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 dun.
Actually, I love to score anything. Any project is great. I like to do commercials, TV shorts, features, Branding is a new area that I'm getting into.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that too. You have this new thing called AKB. What does
Right.
that mean?
It's audio kinetic branding.
Okay.
And audio kinetic branding is a new methodology to bring sound and music into branding content, viral branding content. And we have an algorithm that detects lulls in sensory input, and we fill those lulls with sound effects, music, and proper mixing, and it makes regular viral content come to life. It makes your everyday piece of internet content more experiential, so you get that experiential marketing end on it. And the real thing is that it stops people from turning to watch something else.
Because they're engaged, I guess.
They're
They're engaged
engaged
with the content.
Right. We engage the senses using audio, using music, changing music at just the right spot. A lot of the content, they stick a piece of music in. That's good, but it doesn't stay appropriate for the whole 2 minutes of content.
I know exactly what you're talking about. My first job in the industry was worked as a music librarian, and I had to pick out music and sound effects for radio and television projects. And I'd get like a piece of network music, you know, needle drop music, because you actually were like needle dropping it back in the day on the actual record. And I'd be like, oh, it's good up until this one point. And I'm like, it loses it all. So having a customized piece of music and then doing what you're doing with the AKB method,
Right.
you're guaranteed to have the music and the sound right where you want it.
Exactly. And the technology that we have, and through science, technology, experience, art, we can do this quickly, inexpensively, because people get afraid of original music. They go, I can't afford it, we can't do that, it's not in the budget, and they don't realize that they've just paid their editor for 2 days to not edit because they're trying to pick out music that doesn't work. They're picking out sound effects that don't work. They're trying to get the rights to the music that they like, and they waste all this time and money, and it can be done in 2 or 3 days, and everybody can do the job they do best.
It's fantastic. I'm glad that you were here.
I'm so glad to be here.
And it was fun to have you behind the set today. And so we've been visiting with Andrew Markus from 4score and 7 Music. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be hearing a lot of his music coming up on some segments of Live It Up. If you'd like to reach him, you can through us at liveituptvshow.com.